Oil just hits $100 a barrel. And suddenly, everyone's a macroeconomist at the gas station. But while the headlines scream panic, the smart money is looking at something much more calculated. It's a global tug of war. On one side, you have the Orange Man, the self-proclaimed protagonist who leads Navy carrier groups to stop the Strait of Hormuz from closing. Yeah, he's also the one who helped light this fuse. On the other, Iran, trying to choke the world with high prices until we all gasp for air together. But what if I told you this isn't just a two-player game? There are hidden players in the shadows, greasing the rope and waiting for the exact microsecond to strike. Today, we're investigating who's actually pulling the strings so you aren't the one holding the bag when the rope snaps. To start, we have to look at the political desperation of the Orange Man. First, the U.S. administration. They are playing a high-velocity game of drill, baby, drill meets the Navy. Trump is bypassing every environmental hurdle to open the Strait of Hormuz, while simultaneously draining the strategic petroleum reserve like a juice box on a 100-degree day. For Trump, $100 oil is a political landmine. $2 gas wins elections, $7 gas loses them. He's betting he can outsupply the blockade just long enough to hit a $75 reality before the midterms. But the harder he pulls, the more he bleeds. And the first player waiting for that drop of blood? The Kremlin. While the West chokes on a $115 war premium, Putin is out back at the loading dock. He doesn't want $200 oil. That kills his customers. He wants a sustainable high. He's the one greasing the rope. How? Through the dark fleet. Over 1,500 aging, ghost ships with no names and no insurance, moving millions of barrels of Russian and Iranian oil into Asia right now. They turn off their transponders and vanish. This shadow network earns Moscow and Tehran an estimated $290 million a day, effectively neutralizing the U.S. blockade. Trump is draining his reserves, while Putin is quietly refilling his vault. But Putin isn't the one actually using all that shadow oil. That would be the world's largest factory. And they are winning the trade. Enter China. While we argue at the pump, Beijing is laughing at the bank, because they are buying that shadow oil at a $25 discount and paying for it in yuan. Their energy costs are effectively 30% lower than yours. Beijing isn't just buying oil, they are weaponizing it to become the world's undisputed low-cost factory. Think about the math. If a factory in Germany or Ohio is paying $105 for energy, and a factory in Shanghai is paying $80, who wins the export war? China is using this tug of war to subsidize their entire industrial base, effectively exporting inflation to the West while keeping their own prices floor level. They don't want the conflict to end, they want it to simmer. As long as the rope stays tight, they outcompete every Western manufacturer until there's nothing left to buy but made in China. But there's one group that hates this arrangement. That's the people who actually own the oil. You'd think Saudi Arabia and the UAE would be popping champagne to $100 a barrel oil? Wrong. They are terrified of the tank top problem. They have record capacity, but with the Strait of Hormuz effectively closed to 90% of traffic, their wealth is stuck in a desert storage unit. It's like having a vault full of gold but the door is welded shut. You're rich on paper but you can't pay the bills. They need a Goldilocks price right around $80. High enough to fund their NEOM megacities, but low enough that it doesn't trigger a global recession. They are trying to keep you addicted, not force you into rehab. But while they try to maintain the status quo, the future is already gaining ground. And that future belongs to the EV companies. For Tesla, BYD, and the new modular tech firms, $105 oil is the ultimate customer acquisition gift. The Tesla timer is ticking. For every month oil stays in the triple digits, global EV adoption accelerates by 4%. Every time the rope is pulled tighter, the long-term demand for oil permanently erodes. The Saudis are sweating because they aren't just losing a trade today, they are losing a generation of drivers tomorrow. And as the world pivots to electric, the smart money is weighing the strength of players on both sides of the rope. The scores are finally in. With the 10-year Treasury yield sitting at a restrictive 4.3%, the global economy is officially price-sensitive to energy costs. Anything above $100 is a one-way ticket to stagflation that no central bank can print its way out of. Right now, Iran stands alone, trying to keep the rope taut and prices in the triple digits. But don't load up on your shorts just yet. Iran still has the firepower for one final desperate tug, a last-ditch effort to snap the global supply chain before the pressure becomes too much. The smart money knows this final spike is coming, and they are sitting on their hands, waiting for that exact moment of peak desperation to floor their short bets. The question for you is, are you betting on oil prices or the desperation of the people pulling the rope?